Picture this. It's 3 a.m. The glow of your laptop screen burns your tired eyes, and your heart pounds like a war drum. You keep typing, convinced that if you pause for even a second, the world will leave you behind. The coffee has gone cold, notifications keep buzzing, and your mind is screaming, work harder, don't stop. If you slow down, you lose. And that, right there, is the tragedy of modern life. We were raised to believe that success only belongs to those who never stop moving. That silence means failure. That stillness is weakness. But what if the truth is the opposite? The terrifying power of silence. There's a fascinating experiment in psychology. A professor asked students to sit quietly for just 15 minutes. No phones, no books, no music, nothing. Just silence. The result? Most couldn't handle it. Some actually chose mild electric shocks over being alone with their thoughts. Why? Because silence forces us to face the greatest monster of all, ourselves. When you do nothing, the voices return, your past mistakes, your regrets, the dreams you abandoned. They crawl out of the shadows. And so, we run. We binge Netflix, scroll endlessly, overwork ourselves, just to drown out that noise. But here's the secret. If you dare to face that silence, it becomes something else. Not a curse, a doorway to clarity. The engine that must rest. Think of your brain like a race car. Run it non-stop, it burns out. Shut it down for a moment, it cools, resets, and then it flies. The world's most successful people have always known this. Bill Gates famously takes think weeks, disappearing into solitude just to read and reflect. Albert Einstein took long, quiet walks by the lake, letting his mind wander. Steve Jobs often sat silently, doing nothing but feeling. They all understood one thing. Doing nothing is not laziness, it's invisible productivity. In stillness, your brain connects dots it couldn't before. The best ideas rarely come. When you force them, they come. When you give your mind space to breathe. The war against noise. Let's be honest, our world is deafening. Notifications every minute. Timelines packed with outrage, gossip, fear. We are told to hustle harder, faster, or risk being left behind. But this noise doesn't just distract us, it keeps our brain in a state of constant alarm. We live like soldiers on a battlefield, always on edge. The price? Chronic stress, anxiety, burnout, a life that feels busy but empty. And this is why doing nothing is an act of rebellion. When you sit still, you resist the system. You take back control from an algorithm designed to keep you restless. Stillness becomes an act of power. When stillness creates wealth and peace. It sounds insane. How could doing nothing make you successful? But research from the University of California shows that mental downtime boosts creativity by up to 40%. Entrepreneurs admit their best breakthroughs came not at their desks, but while walking, meditating, or simply sitting in silence. A friend of mine, a startup founder, once lived in chaos. 3 hours of sleep a night, meals skipped, brain stuck on numbers, until his company nearly collapsed because he collapsed. Out of desperation, he took a week in a rural village, no phone signal, no meetings, just walks, journaling, and stillness. When he came back, he had one small, clear idea. That idea saved his business, and today, it's the cornerstone of his company's explosive growth. What saved him wasn't another all-nighter. It was the courage to stop. The fear that keeps us running. And yet, stopping feels terrifying. We are afraid of being lazy, afraid of being left behind, afraid that if we pause, the world will pass us by. But here's the paradox. Stillness is not surrender. Stillness is strategy. Think of a bow and arrow. You pull back, you hold, you wait, and only then do you release. That pause, that silence, is what gives the arrow its power. The twist, when doing nothing destroys you. But here's the dark secret no one tells you. Not all stillness saves you. There are two kinds of silence. The silence that heals, and the silence that kills. The first is intentional. You pause to breathe, to reflect, to reset. This stillness prepares you to rise stronger. The second is avoidance. You freeze out of fear. You stay stuck because moving forward feels too hard. You call it rest, but it's really escape. Here's the twist. Stillness can be your greatest power or your slowest poison. And the difference is one word: intention. Are you pausing to recharge or pausing to hide? The ending. Success isn't built by running without rest. Sometimes, the biggest victories come from daring to stop, to face the silence, to let your true voice rise from beneath the noise. And maybe, just maybe, in a world that screams for constant movement, the bravest, most radical, most productive thing you can do is nothing at all. Because in stillness, you don't just find success, you find yourself. Subscribe, like, comment for support.